Hey everyone, and welcome to Flow Tao Salon. Today, we're diving deep into the future of travel, a future where artificial intelligence isn't just a cool idea from a movie, it's actually becoming your new travel partner. So how exactly are algorithms going to shape our future adventures? Let's jump in and find out. So, our guide for today is this report right here, the 2026 China Tourism AI Marketing White Paper. It's a really forward-looking study that maps out how AI is poised to completely change the tourism game. I mean, everything, from how we first dream up a trip to the actual experiences we have when we get there. Let's get into it. So here's how we're going to break it all down for you. First, we'll look at the AI-powered traveler, that's us. Then we'll check out the industry's new playbook. After that, we've got to talk about the all-important digital trust equation. And finally, we'll wrap up with 3 big signposts for tomorrow. First up, the AI-powered traveler. So this section is all about us, the regular traveler. It's about how we're starting to see AI not just as some gadget, but as a real, honest-to-goodness travel companion that's changing the very fabric of how we plan, book, and live out our adventures. And believe me, this change is happening fast. The report found that a pretty staggering 64% of travelers are already open to using AI to plan their trips. Just think about that for a second. That's almost 2/3 of us. It's a huge signal that we're really on the edge of something big here. But, it's not quite that simple. That big number doesn't tell the whole story. Once you start digging into the details, into the demographics, well, that's where things get really fascinating and, honestly, a little surprising. For example, you'd think the youngest travelers, right, the digital natives, they'd be all over this. But surprisingly, the data shows that for folks between 18 and 30, the acceptance rate is just under 50%. I mean, that's still pretty good, but it tells us that age, well, it might not be the most important factor here. So what is? Okay, this is where the real story is. Check this out. A whopping 75.86% of high-income travelers, we're talking people earning over 50,000 yuan a month, they haven't just accepted AI travel tools, they've totally embraced them. Now that is a huge leap. So here's the key takeaway, right? We always think of new tech being driven by young people. But this report throws a curveball. It shows that when it comes to travel, your income level is a way better predictor of whether you'll use AI. And for anyone in the travel business, that is a massive insight. All right, so that's the traveler's side of things. Now let's flip the script. What about the industry? Why are all these travel companies pouring money into AI? What's in it for them? And this chart lays it all out pretty clearly. Yeah, of course, boosting the return on investment is in there, but look at the top reason. It's to improve service quality. That's what's really driving them. They believe AI is the secret sauce to creating just better, smoother, and way more personal trips for all of us. So the report basically says AI is wearing 2 different hats here. On one side, it's your assistant, your personal guide giving you cool recommendations and planning your itinerary. But on the other side, it's a transaction platform. It's becoming a new way to sell and book things, almost like a super smart version of the online travel agencies we already use. In that idea, AI being both a helpful guide and a salesperson, that leads us straight to the trickiest part of this whole thing. It's the one issue that everything else depends on. This very fragile thing we call digital trust. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? After all this, are we, as travelers, really ready to just hand over our vacation plans, our hard-earned money, and our faith to an algorithm? Yeah, well, the answer is it's messy. Even with all that excitement we talked about, a majority, over 53% of people are still pretty worried about using AI for travel stuff. And that's the real puzzle the industry has to solve, right? How do you close that gap between people being curious about AI and actually trusting it? And look, these aren't small worries. People are asking big questions, like, what are you doing with my data? Can I really trust these recommendations? What happens when I need to talk to a real person? Is the algorithm biased? If you want to build trust, you have to have a good answer for every single one of those questions. All right, so we've looked at the traveler, we've looked at the industry, and we've talked about that big trust gap in the middle. Let's try to pull it all together. What are the 3 most important takeaways from this report? The 3 big signposts pointing to where all of this is headed? Okay, number 1. This AI wave isn't lifting all boats at the same time. Right now, it's the high-income travelers who are really diving in. And that tells us something important. It suggests that the first big selling points for AI travel, like that hyper-personalized, super convenient premium experience, are hitting home with the people who can really afford it. Signpost number 2. The industry knows exactly what it's trying to do here. This isn't just about using robots to save a few bucks. No, the real goal, the grand prize they're all chasing, is using AI to make the entire travel experience better, more personal, easier, and just unforgettable. And finally, the third and maybe the most important point of all, the tech by itself is not going to be enough. The whole future of AI in travel, it all comes down to one thing: earning and keeping our trust. That is the final mountain they have to climb to make this mainstream. You know, the report sums it up perfectly with this quote: "The future of travel is not just about where we go, but how AI helps us get there. The journey is becoming as intelligent as the destination." I just love that. It really drives home that it's the how of travel that's being completely reinvented right before our eyes. And that's our look into the future of travel. It's an incredible, fast-changing world, and I really want to thank you for taking the time to unpack it all with us today. From all of us here at Salon, 满年兴隆.